What's up, guys? Hold on. Let me fix this real quick. Too much light. I'm trying to get this light out. Okay, hold up. Too bright. Ugh. Oh, God. I hope that's better. This light is bugging me. Let me cut this off real quick. Okay, that's better. But what's up, guys? As the title of this video says, you know what this is about. Last night was NXT Takeover in your house. Here to review that. And before I get into this, this met my expectations, and one hell of a card. And let's start it off with it all started off with the band, I think Orange. God, I can't remember the band's name. I keep forgetting their name, but it was opened up with a live performance, and it was freaking awesome. It was badass, and because of that live performance, I kept re-listening to that song on YouTube over and over and over. I even rewatched the live performance on YouTube when WWE put it up on their page after the performance was over. So that was a great way to start off the night with a live performance, as NXT usually does on their takeover events. Not all the time, but usually. The opening match started off with a 6-woman tag. It was Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, Candice LeRae against Mia Yim, Dakota Kai, Shotzi Blackheart. And this match was okay. It could have been better. I mean, it was a good way. It was good to start off the pay-per-view with this match, and I'm glad it was there were two women matches on this card as opposed to one. But this match was okay. There were a few botches, a few missed spots, but it didn't really hamper the match. I did think the heels were going to win, but the babyfaces got the win when there was this miscommunication between Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, and it seemed like they were teasing maybe potentially like a split between them, but I hope that isn't the case, because they complement each other well, and it'd be way too early to split them up. But with that being said, and I'm going to be rating these matches too, but out of 1 to 5, I'd probably give this match maybe a 2.5 at best. This match was okay. Couldn't have been better, but like I said, there were a few missed spots, a few botches. It seemed like they were just running all over the place to find their footing. But it was okay. It was a good way to start off the pay-per-view. Next was one of my favorites of the night, Finn Bálor and Damian Priest. And these two guys, Damian Priest said he wants his name to live in infamy, and I think he definitely succeeded, even though he did not win this match. This match started off fast-paced with Finn Bálor getting the jump on Damian Priest, and then it went into Damian Priest's the tables turned, and Damian Priest got the jump on Bálor. However, his worst mistake was the steel steps, and that was his downfall, which allowed Finn Bálor to get the win on Damian Priest. And like I said, even though Damian Priest didn't win, I did think he got respect of Finn Bálor, and Damian Priest is one of those rare big guys that actually has the look and the ability. Unlike a lot of other big guys in WWE, he actually has the ability and the look. Some guys that look like him only have the look, like Psycho Sid, Vladimir Kozlov, Giant Gonzalez. All of them look intimidating, but ultimately they failed because their in-ring ability sucked. And Damian Priest is not one of those guys. He's great in the ring. He's one of my favorites. He is definitely a future WWE champion, and I cannot wait to see him main event of WrestleMania someday. If he gets called up to Raw or SmackDown, even though I still consider NXT a main brand, is even though I consider NXT a main brand, he doesn't necessarily need Raw or SmackDown to be successful. But this was a good match. I'm going to give this match a 3 out of 5. And then following this match, there was the Keith Lee, the Limitless Keith Lee, defending his North American Championship against Johnny Gargano, Johnny TAKEOVER, I should say. And this match was mainly focusing on Keith Lee's scratched cornea and his messed up hand, his bruised hand from the Go Home episode of NXT last week when Johnny Gargano targeted his hand and his eye when he drove his car keys into his eye. And that was the main focus of the match. And at first, Keith Lee was looking really unstoppable until Johnny Gargano went after his hand and his after his eye. And there were a few times in the match where it did look like Johnny was going to defeat Keith Lee. I mean, Candice LeRae got involved. However, Mia Yim was able to intercept her. However, this allowed Johnny Gargano to do the same thing he did to Keith Lee last week, drive his keys into the injured eye of Keith Lee, except it was the opposite eye this time, so both of his eyes were injured, and he was able to take advantage of this. However, he went for, 5 super kicks, still didn't, and still failed, went after his hand. That didn't do anything, and there were, like I said, loads of times that Johnny Gargano could have been crowned new NXT North American champion. However, it was not enough to stop the Limitless Keith Lee, and he was able to overtake and dethrone Johnny Gargano and retain his NXT North American Championship. So this was a great match, great storytelling. This match gets 3 out of 5. I can't wait to see Keith Lee's next number one contender for his North American Championship. Next match, I believe Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream Batlock Brawl match. This was like reminiscent of, when I originally thought about this match, I thought it was going to be like a Goldust Roddy Piper thing at like WrestleMania, but excuse me, it was different in its own way. In its own way, I had a feeling that Undisputed Era was going to get involved, and they did. However, they were intercepted by Dexter Lumis, I believe, and Dexter Lumis I think he is going to be one of the breakout stars of NXT this year. I cannot wait to see the reaction from the crowd when the crowd returns, because I do believe that he is a credible threat to someone like Adam Cole. However, even though Undisputed Era could not gain the upper hand on Velveteen Dream because of what Dexter Lumis did, throwing them in the car and then throwing them in the trunk of the car and driving them away, ultimately, this was not enough for Velveteen Dream to win the NXT Championship and put down the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole retained the championship, and a lot of people thought that Adam Cole was going to drop the title and leave and go somewhere else because his contract is going to expire in a couple of months, or he was going to re-sign and go to Raw and SmackDown with the rest of the Undisputed Era. And as you can tell, Adam Cole, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. So as someone looking from the outside, I guess the next question should be, who is left? He's practically beaten everybody. He's beaten Adam. He's beaten Johnny Gargano. He's beaten Velveteen Dream, Matt Riddle, Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, who you guys think should be next? But this match, it was okay, I guess. I'll give it a 2 out of 5. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't one of my favorites, but yeah. Next match was, this one was more of a squash match than anything, but it was Killer Kross, I believe that's his name, Killing Kross, or God damn, I can't, against Tommaso Ciampa, and this did not look good for Tommaso Ciampa. He was getting annihilated throughout the match, and pretty much he was no match for Killing Kross, or instead of tapping, he went right to sleep as soon as he got the straitjacket put on him, and this led to the ultimate victory for Killing Kross. And Killing Kross, like I said with Damian Priest, he's going to be a future star in NXT, and he's just going to run roughshod through the whole roster if he has to. But I see great things looking for him. And ultimately, in this match, I'll give it a 2 out of 5. It was just more of a squash match. It was just kind of there. And the final match, the main event, triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai. This match was pretty entertaining. I'm glad Charlotte didn't come out with the victory, and Io Shirai did win. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I mean, I am happy that Charlotte didn't win the match, just because I feel like Charlotte doesn't need the championship to validate for validation or anything. However, being that Io Shirai is the one that pinned Rhea instead of the one that pinned Charlotte, that kind of irks me and kind of bothers me, because they try to find a way to protect the champion without the champion being pinned, so they go with that route. However, Rhea Ripley has had the worst year so far. I mean, after defeating Shayna Baszler, you think her stock would go up, but she's lost twice back to back to Charlotte at WrestleMania, which was a huge mistake, and being pinned by Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship, that was a bigger mistake. In my opinion, I would have had Io Shirai. In my opinion, I would have had Io Shirai pin Charlotte, but those are the breaks. I would give this match a 3 out of 5. But let me know what you guys thought of NXT TakeOver in your house. I truly enjoyed it. But don't forget, let me know what was your favorite match too. My favorite match of the night was Bálor and Priest. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I see you guys See you guys in the next video. And it'll probably be a live stream later on today. But peace.